My father, Gorion, is dead. I have a mix of emotions. I can't help but tear up at the shame that I feel for leaving my father on the field that night. But he urged me to flee as if there was some purpose to my journey. To my dying day, I'm always going to remember that night. In particular, those eyes. The eyes of that large, armored figure who seemed to be after me, but killed my father instead. What was that thing? Who was he? Regardless, now I journey with my best friend, Emwyn, and the adventurers, Khalid and Jahira. We travel together to the town of Nashkel to find out what's been going on with the Iron Crisis, and how can we solve it before it's too late.
Father, I'm off to play.
Well, a fine day, dear.
Did you remember to wash your face?
Did now.
With your hurried flight from Candlekeep barely behind you, the troubles facing the Sword Coast seem an unfamiliar blur to your fractured nerves. Gorion would not have you sit idle, however, and perhaps investigating local concerns will shed some light on your own predicament. How the iron shortage or the trouble in the Nashkel mines could possibly be linked to you, you have no idea.
We arrive in the town of Nashkel.
Of course.
Doesn't seem to be too big and doesn't seem to be too bustling, but it is a nice little northern Amian town. We arrive and we see immediately that the guard duty is quite prevalent in the community. We're approached immediately by a guardsman who comes and quite harshly asks us to identify ourselves. I tell him that my name is Andreas and this is our band, and we've heard that this is a troubled region of the late. We'd like to make ourselves at our disposal. At his disposal, rather, not at ours. Bartolon basically confirms that things are not so good, and we ask him what things aren't so good. He states that the mine has been taken over by demons, and that the lower levels have been abandoned. And then the tale of Commander Brage. Commander Brage apparently killed his wife and children in a rage, along with any witnesses, and then ran off to the woods, to the hills. Apparently he's still out there. Perhaps we can investigate this matter as well. It's quite clear that Bartolon is emotional. He tears up as he runs.
Cities are always so intimidating. So many people.
And of course, we hear from the local townsman. There appears to be a preacher of some kind practicing martial arts, and no need to interrupt him. The best course of action to take is to travel to the mayor. So let's go ahead and do that. We're approached immediately by Baron Gastkill, who recognizes Jahira, and so states that we must be the adventurers that he was expecting. He introduces himself and says that he's happy to meet us, unfortunately under dire circumstances. We ask him what exactly is the trouble here, and he tells us that Nashkel is at the thick of the iron shortage. The mines have been shut down because there are demons down below. Of course, who knows what's actually happening, but the big thing that's causing the shortage is that the iron is tainted, and it's quite strange. There are, of course, bandits outside, but that's beyond the control of Nashkel. What we can do is we can try to travel to those mines and to uncover what's under there. Try to find out why the iron has been tainted and what actually lurks down there. We tell the mayor that we'll do what we can, and he thanks us. Jahira speaks up and states that this is our first mission, our first big goal. Hopefully, her skills as a healer won't be too heavily tested, but hopefully we'll be victorious. Before resting tonight, I'll need to travel to to a store to see if I can replace my two-handed sword. Lo and behold, they have one available. In fact, they have 5 available. So I will go ahead and purchase 2, just in case the iron is tainted. It's expensive, but it might be necessary. We go ahead and head out of the store and make our way to the local tavern.
It shall be done.
It may be a touch unladylike, but I'm gonna slit your throat, I am.
Inside the tavern, we're approached immediately, or shouted across the bar, by a lady who claims to be serving a Lord of Shadows, obviously a cleric of some kind, and someone who appears to be another bounty hunter. If this lady would like to guide us to the Lord of Shadows, then I have every right to defend myself. Attack if you will, soon you shall die. With a few blows, the assassin goes down. Emlyn, of course, asks who was that. We tell her that it was another assassin. This time it's the 5th. We've had 2 since leaving Candlekeep, 1 right after Candlekeep. We had a mage on the doorstep of the Friendly Arm Inn. She states that she was shocked to hear that there were even assassins inside of Candlekeep. That's exactly what I told you. You weren't too interested in hearing that, though. And she, of course, starts to talk about how if I expect to get a wife someday, I can't let her keep me under her thumb. Yes, all right. Well, thank you, Emlyn. Anyway,
Of course.
now is as good a time to investigate what this is. I read the bounty notice. This time it seems that the bounty has extended to 680 pieces of gold. Wonderful.
You do not dream often, but tonight the visions are vivid indeed. Long have you walked, but now you find yourself back amidst the stones of Candlekeep. Your former home looms before you, but the gate is closed and barred. Over the walls there is a candle in your old room, but as the light goes out, the brick surrounding the window closes together. The very walls conspire to keep you at bay. A familiar voice startles you. Though it is calm and caring, you cannot go back this way, child. You must go on. Gorion forms before you. And though his image should be comforting, it seems but a shade of his living self. He is dead in your dreams, as in life. The phantom of your foster father gestures toward the blackness of the wood, as though it should be inviting. Perhaps it is, in a way, but the traveling will be hard. As you think this, a smooth and obvious path becomes clear out of the corner of your eye. It seems meant for you, pulls at your very being, and promises to quickly lead you away from the life you once led. Perhaps this would be for the best, but it is a bit too convenient for your liking. You do not wish to dwell upon the loss you have endured, but neither should it be forgotten. Gorion smiles and fades away. The pull becomes a push, but you turn away, steadfast in your new direction. The way is not quite as clear, but it is sure to be interesting nonetheless. A whisper follows as you stride away, something vestigial and sinister that you recognize, but yet have never heard. You will learn. You don't look back.
We wake up the following morning, and Emwyn, of course, notices that I look quite pale, as if I've seen a ghost, and perhaps I have. The dream I had last night was more strange than bad. Emwyn states that we were quite loud in our bunk, and even though we were tossing and turning, I suppose I can tell her about my dream. I relate the dream back in Candlekeep, and I tell her about the 2 paths, and that Gorion was urging me to travel down a path that is perhaps less clear and more difficult, but seems to be the right path, versus the path that seems to pull me in this clear and obvious, but a little bit too easy. Emwyn states that the dream still sounds creepy She's happy that Gorion seemed happy, but that there seems to be that other voice. It's quite strange. Somehow, though, I feel different. I feel with a simple touch, I can help to heal people. I don't know if it comes in from me or I don't know. It sounds very strange, and when I both agree. I wake after some dream and know that I can do something magical. She says I should take it easy. Well, we don't really have the time to take it easy. We get ourselves packed and we head out.
It shall be done.
Along the way, we run into a gentleman who appears to be some sort of merchant, or a bureaucrat, rather. He states that we are the mighty Grey Wolf, and that for taking care of the bandit Tonquin, we should be granted 200 pieces of gold. This would be the easy path, but, well, one must take the more difficult path. Not just because it's difficult, but because it's simply the right thing to do. We tell him that he's made some mistake. We are not this Grey Wolf. It's not mine to take. He thanks us, of course, and feels quite embarrassed. I promise I won't be telling anybody. We continue down the main thoroughfare, come across an interesting warrior. I gaze into his heart, find him to be of astonishing goodness, if not in simplicity. I immediately reach out to him.
Stand and deliver, that my hamster might have a better look at you.
He introduces himself as Minsk, along with his companion Boo, who appears to be a small hamster, I suppose. He states that he's traveled far and wishes to explore this land, but that his charge, Dynahair, was taken from him. Apparently it was Knowles. He's tracked them to a location to the west, but he needs assistance in trying to rescue her. How could anybody decline this classic tale? And he calls us fellow adventurers. Of course, he also mentions a head wound. So perhaps we should take care of this before this gentleman loses patience. Emwen speaks up, the damsel in distress, a brave warrior come to rescue her. She states that would happen to her, but she wishes that would happen to her, but that seems rather silly. Emwen would probably find her way out of this situation and put a few arrows in the goons that had done that. Exactly. She doesn't mind the brave warrior as long as he's handsome. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe she'll get lucky someday. Anyway, Minsk states that he would rescue a nice girl like her, but has to rescue Dynahair first. We come across the bridge to head to the west. We see another man who seems to be different. I sense the evil immediately in his heart. I know that crossing this man would be a poor use of my time. We walk past him and move on.
It shall be done.
We travel to the west and come across a few winter wolves. We attack them and try to collect them for their hides. At least the shop owner in the town of Nashkel suggested that we grab their hides, at least for a nice coat that we can sell. We're approached by a large creature, a hyena creature. He tells us to go there and conquer the wretched fortress. I ask him, what fortress do you mean? He states that the fortress to the west, that he wishes to roast the captive alive, and that the others would rather let her sit in the cellar. Perhaps this is the creature, perhaps this is the hostage that we're supposed to be rescuing, the fair Dynahair. Turns out that Emwen has the good thought that she had the same thought that I did, that this must be Dynahair. That's good news. Minsk states that his witch survives. Of course, that his boot is itching to kill evil Knowles and to free the witch. And the Gnoll speaks up that he will roast her. Mink states that he wanted to eat sweet, fair Dynahair. The creature states that perhaps sweet may not be the right word. And the Gnolls should have listened to him. And maybe that this individual, Ingot, can go back and convince them now. But Minsk will hear none of it. Evil meet sword. Sword meet evil, he shouts. And it appears that we are in combat.
My blade will cut you down to size.
Others come from behind us, and I see that Minsk has gone berserk.
None are better.
I'm gone.
And he has started chasing after Jaheira. We make our way away from them as other Gnolls come by, obviously seeking Minsk.
No, my heart's really not in this.
Still chasing Dynahair. They're still chasing Jaheira.
To victory.
While Khalid and I make short work of the Gnolls, Mink seems far more interested in chasing after Jaheira than chasing after the Gnolls. Obviously, it's lost his mind in combat.
It shall be done.
This is incredibly dangerous. This is exactly the kind of business I do not want in my party. Once I rescue Dynahair, I fear that I cannot take Minsk with me if he's going to threaten my colleagues. This is just simply a liability that we cannot hold. We make our way to the west. Mink shouts that the den of evil where they hold sweet Dynahair is here. Onwards, friends, onwards. Khalid tries to hold him back restraint, that we should study the place beforehand, lest we fall into an ambush. Mink screams, this is some kind of hole that we can fall into? Khalid states that could be a shrub or with long hard thorns. Minsk, of course, scratches his head and states that he shall try to charge ahead, and that Boo will sniff out any stupid Gnoll, or a Gnoll stupid enough to try to ambush us. Khalid is the better mind for it, even if it's a tad cautious. He doesn't like the look of this bridge. But Minx does give him some words of valor, and has stated that he has seen his bravery on the field, which, against those Gnolls, completely agree. Minx states that no man can be brave enough to marry Jaheira that would be scared of some puny Gnolls. Khalid is perhaps a little too sensitive to that, and Jaheira overhears that side of the conversation, asking Khalid what Minsk was talking about. Khalid states, no, nothing. She presses the matter, and Khalid states maybe it's the wind or the gorge. Anyway, Minsk should follow, but quietly. And Minsk states that it does his heart good to see such a display of courage. The bridge maybe should be crossed carefully. The Khalid maybe is right, even though he is also quite brave. Jaheira states that he is talking to a rodent, and has stated a little perplexion of that, considering her druid background. Minsk states that he is coming across the bridge, and that Boo will lead the way. Jaheira, of course, states that someday she's going to have the great druid test her hearing. Hopefully nothing is wrong. Hopefully those two will hear of that. Sadly, I still hold my feelings about Minsk. He's just so dangerous and reckless.
Full plate.
He
and
charges
packing
ahead.
Steel.
Of course.
Across the bridge.
Full plate and packing
shall be done.
steel.
Me now.
Cool,
Me
Ricky
hungry.
will get
Stop.
the kick.
You go nowhere. This our bridge. You pay to walk it.
They allow us to cross the bridge for 200 coins. Minx can see the castle where the foul gnolls keep Dynahair. Villainy on the bridge, step aside. Minx and Hamster are coming through. Hairtrue says that he should, that if we think we're so big, then we should fight and then take our heads and take lots of our gold. That's not going to happen. Perhaps it's wisest that we keep a small distance. No point in us getting ourselves killed.
I'll do my best.
Or of course, Jaheira and Khalid don't heed my advice. And you know what? To be completely fair, they were right. Charging ahead was the right course of action in this case.
Of course.
However, to be completely fair, I'm certainly more concerned about Minsk than I am about these gnolls. With that, we make our way up to the Gnoll Fortress. Up the stairs to face off against these creatures.
Gods grant me strength.
For the fallen!
My blade will cut you down to size.
It shall be done.
My
for the
blade
ice
will
boot.
cut you down to size.
Absolutely not in this.
I'm gone.
No! No!
I've done had enough of this.
As the mass of gnolls behind us
It shall be done.
lay vanquished, we take the opportunity to move ahead. Lo and behold, I break another weapon. My goodness. Perhaps magic blades don't break as easily? We go down into the pit where we come across what appears to be a mage of some kind.
It shall be
Decency
done.
is refreshing. So many we meet are lacking.
She states that it was courageous for us to follow Minsk. I absolutely agree. More than a touch foolish. Minsk is a fine warrior, but he is far too dangerous to be counted on for combat. Minsk is overjoyed, of course, that we have rescued his mage. We ask her who she is to warrant a bodyguard. She states that she is Dynahair the Rashomon. It's more of a journey of some sort that she is traveling on. Well, I feel bad for saying this, but she will need to continue her passages as she will. We unfortunately can't risk having Minsk in the party. And of course, Minsk states that where Dynahair goes, so must we. So must he. And he is actually primarily the reason why we would need to excuse them from the party. And so, we don't need either of them.
For the fallen! For the fallen!
Of course.
This time, Khalid breaks one of his swords. We will need to find some way to get weapons that are perhaps a little less
You have need of me?
breakable.
Very well.
I think that either comes with the saving of the Nashkel mines. With that, we make our way back to the east and towards those mines. Before we go to the mines, however, we return to Nashkel and we bring one of the finest looking pelts the storekeep has ever seen. 500 gold pieces and one less winter wolf threatening the population. After taking a night to rest, we make our way to the Nashkel mines.
Very well.
And we go ahead and make our way into those mines, or rather into the mine pit. We approach the foreman of the mine, a man named Emerson.
Look at me mine, do you?
He's annoyed by the quality of the iron that's coming out of the mine. He is actually rather open to us exploring it. He states that he could use the help. There's some strange creatures. People are talking about things moving down below. The earth, it seems, hides many secrets from sight. We make our way to the entrance of the mine, and we speak to the head guard.
Stand away, citizen!
He wishes us luck and hopes that we can solve the problems.
It shall be done.
Oh, I'm so
We're
tired.
approached by a miner named Miner Gord right inside the mine. He suggests that we should leave while we still can. That he's heard the awful stories about what's happening deeper in the mines. We ask him what he has heard. He states that the little demons jumped out of the walls. That the guards, of course, protected the miners, and unfortunately those guards are dead. That apparently old Rufy was somebody who had survived one of those attacks. We probably can tell him. He probably can tell us.
Leave us be.
So we approach
There's
Rufy.
much work to be done.
We ask him what's making the miners disappear. He hisses, it's demons. Little devils everywhere, I tell you. From the walls, they're coming. They're going to kill us all. I find this hard to believe. First off, he's getting devils and demons confused. It screams more of superstition than actual demon or devil. My guess is it's some sort of creature that has come and infested these mines. Goblins or kobolds.
I think I'm coughing up blood.
Another miner comes by and he asks us if we're going to go down deeper to bring a dagger back to another miner named Keeley. I imagine it's rather dangerous to be down there without a dagger, so I'm happy to assist, since I'm going that way anyway, and since it's the right thing to do. He states that he appreciates it. With that, we go deeper into the mines. Upon reaching the first deeper level, we're approached by a man who's screaming that demons are coming. Demons are coming. The yipping demons are coming. I've never heard of a yipping demon. Apparently, they're right behind him. With that, I see that there are kobolds approaching.
Yes?
Fortunately, we were able to protect the miner who was able to flee. But it's clear of what's actually killing these miners is kobolds. Kobolds can be nasty. They're a combination of rat, and lizard, and dog yipping all into one creature. I've heard that they worship dragons. Of course, I don't know what to believe so much these days regarding certain creatures. We go ahead and make our way, at least to meet with Keely to give him back his dagger,
It shall be done.
but also to clear out more of these mines.
My blade will
For
cut
the
you down to size.
fallen!
Very well.
Yep.
Very well.
So dark down here.
We approach and we find Miner Keely. We have his dagger and we're happy to give it to him. We ask him what's happening in the mine, and as you can guess, he knows exactly. The kobolds, they're overrunning the place piece by piece, and that now they seem to be in the deepest levels, or coming up from the deepest levels. How would they get here? I have a feeling that they must have been brought in. I find it hard to believe that the miners dug so deep that they just uncovered them. That's rather strange. He states that it's good to be around the guards, but that it's still dangerous. No doubt, we still have to travel deep into these mines. After vanquishing a large group of them, I noticed that some of them have a vial, a potion. It's a vial of mysterious liquid. It seems to be similar to the residue on some of the mining carts. Could this be what's actually causing the iron to crumble? We've seen too many weapons crumble in our hands to not include this, or not bring this up to the surface.
Of course.
Perhaps someone can know more of how to handle this, or how to, I would suppose, reverse the effects.
Very
We make
well.
it to the next level, and we immediately see a man with dark hair lying, recently killed. His ring close by. This is a greenstone ring, a marriage ring. We should bring that back to his wife, now his widow. We turn to see the 3 routes ahead of us. I believe if we head down this route... Ah! That hurt. We'll need to keep on our toes regarding traps, and regarding more kobolds.
Really not in this.
Yield.
I've done had enough of this.
Yield. It shall be done. Very well. It shall be done.
Without a doubt in my mind, I look at this bridge and I see that it would be a great place to have traps. I have Emwen go ahead, start detecting traps. Before she does, she asks Jaheira, why does she hate cities and towns so much? And obviously that humans have to go somewhere to live. Jaheira states that it's not that the humans build towns and cities, it's how they do so, without any regard to the destruction of nature. Emwen states that she has a good point. What can be done about it? Jaheira is about to give advice, but Emwen states that she wants to find an inn, perhaps after we deal with these mines.
Very well.
You're a queer fellow. I'm gone.
To victory.
I've done had enough of
My
this.
heart's really not in this.
I'd like for Jaheira and Khalid to stay back while we
What do you
detect
want?
these traps.
Oh, my heart's really not in this. If none are better. I'll do my best.
I've done had enough of this.
Lo and behold, there were 2 traps right in front of me that Emwen was able to point out. She disarms them quickly. We're able to make our way across this bridgeway. Who knows? Maybe they could have trapped us on the other side. Ah, goodness. That would be a disaster. Deep in the mines, we come across 2 spiders. I know that their venomous bite might cause problems, but we make short work of them.
Of course.
We continue on. Interesting that 2 spiders are there. Seems a bit, dare I say, random.
Yep, I've done had enough of this. I'm gone.
God's grant me strength. It shall be done. To victory.
My blade will cut you down to size.
Of course.
After that particularly nasty kobold ambush, we make our way further. I sense that we're getting close, but I'm nervous about what we'll find.
Yield.
Oh, my
For
heart's
the
really
fallen!
Can I help you?
Suddenly I hear the casting of a spell. I know that this is incredibly dangerous. I have everybody pull back pull back before the spells can be cast.
My blade will cut you down to
And at least
size.
pull the mage out.
Very well.
And it's a lightning bolt that comes across, nearly killing Emowen.
God's grant me strength.
I care not.
You need
Your
me?
servant awaits.
Khalid has another sword broken from him.
I'm gone.
Of course.
And yet another sword that's broken. My goodness, Khalid. Fortunately, he is trained to use axes, at least to some degree. But we're running low on weapons. I break another weapon as well.
Yes?
And when disarms the traps, hopefully that will be the last of them.
Of course.
So we make our way down to the lower
It
levels.
shall be done.
My blade will cut you
really
down
did
to
this.
size.
Of course.
Oh, my heart's really not in this. Oh, my heart's really not
It
in
shall be
this.
done. God's grant me strength. It shall
We
be
cross the
done.
final chasm and make our way into the depths of this dungeon, for the sake of saying it. We see that a gentleman by the name of a half-orc by the name of Malahi has seemed to make himself rather comfortable. Treacherous kobolds let us pass. That's not exactly how it happened. Anyway, he states that there's been a plot by a gentleman named Tazok, and that Tazok has dispatched us to take care of this Malahi. It might be best if we play along. I've played an honest game so far. Might as well see what exactly this Malahi and Tazok seem to be planning. I tell him that Tazok is most displeased with thee. He should reveal his treachery, and maybe we will spare him. Malahi states that Tazok is unfair. He had no desire to cheat him, and that he has letters. They're in the chest. We should take them and see what Tazok was, and take them, show them to this Tazok. Who is this Tazok? What exactly does he want?
I've done had
We get ready to open the chest. Malahi, before we can even open it, shouts, "Fools! We'll never have that chance to take anything." Obviously, he may have been planning on betraying Tazok. "Minions," he says, "come forth and kill the intruders." Whoever this is, he wasn't planning on letting us leave alive.
For the
Grant me
fallen! For the group.
The creature screams to yield. He yields to us, but he has our friend under a tight control. We have no choice but to allow this creature to die. Foul beast.
This way.
The creature falls, and we're all surrounded.
It shall be done. Very well.
As you direct.
Khalid regains his senses and fights alongside with me as Jahir discovers that skeletons have emerged.
As you direct.
This way.
For the fallen!
My blade will cut you down to size.
No!
With a deep breath, we realize the fight is over. But Khalid, of course, speaks up that this threat is not over, that there is a deeper conspiracy. And until the bandit threat is eliminated, we need to ensure that until the bandit threat is eliminated, the iron's just going to pile up in Nashkel. That we need to make sure that the iron actually gets to flow to the places it needs to go. Could take months to search down. Of course, Khalid might have another suggestion. That there's so many, there might be someone in Baragos, a contact in Baragos that could lead us to the heart of these bandits. And maybe we can discover what is going on with the Iron Crisis. We take the time to investigate what is left behind from Malahi, and see what the next chapter will hold.
It shall be done.